Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements you've been putting off? Is there serious damage you need fixed? Then call on us, Damage Control Services. When your roof is sagging and the drywall is drooping after a storm, or your home just needs some enhancements, from damage repairs to new construction, Damage Control Services is here to help.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, times of clouds and sun and breezy with a brief shower in spots. Highs will range from the low 50s in the northernmost part of the zone to the mid-60s in the south. And partly cloudy tonight with a low in the upper 30s across the northern interior part of the zone to the mid-50s along the south coast. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sun. There may be a shower in spots along the coast. Highs ranging from near 60 in the north to the low 70s in the south. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
The LPGA Tour will kick off the 2015 season right here in Central Florida at the inaugural Coates Golf Championship presented by R&L Carriers, January 26th to the 31st at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. Kids 12 and under get in free with a ticketed adult, so bring the entire family to see 120 of the world's best female golfers compete on a nationally televised stage. For information and tickets, visit CoachGolfChampionship.com. The Ocala Civic Theater presents Sleuth. The mystery is in the wits of the two young rivals that battle each other to commit the perfect crime. Predator becomes prey, and this diabolical thriller blends danger and dark humor. The tension builds with every riveting plot twist and illusion. Sleuth at the Ocala Civic Theater on stage January 8th to January 18th. Call the box office at 352-236-2274.
Real estate is the largest and most personal investment that any of us will ever make. Be sure to tune in Tuesdays at 10 a.m. when Bob Kennedy, owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty, will be answering your questions and discussing real estate. So remember, that's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Call 622-9622 with your questions. It pays to be an informed buyer or seller. This is news you can use from Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty and your friends here at WOCA.
Experience the golden age of aviation with a ride on a fully restored 1929 airliner, EAA's immaculate Ford Trimotor, when it lands at Ocala International Airport Thursday, January 15th through Sunday, January 18th. You can also take a ride on EAA's World War II B-17 bomber aluminum overcast, one of the greatest military aircraft of all time. Book your flights today online at b17.org and flytheford.org or call 1-800-359-6217. Hosted by EAA Chapter 812.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
All right, 22 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. When I was a kid, my dad took the family to an air show, and we got to see airplanes flying close. And I remember I had a little Super 8mm movie camera. That's how long ago this was. And it was so fun to take movies, now we say videos, of the planes. And I don't think there was ever a movie that I made with my little camera that I watched more than I watched that one. Fast forward years and years later, Robin, there was an air show here at the Ocala Airport, and you and I had the wonderful opportunity to fly in a B-17 bomber.
Oh, yeah.
It was unbelievable. And the added bonus to that was that my son came with us. I think he might have been 17, 18 years old at the time.
Yeah.
It was just such a wonderful experience. Well, guess what? You can do that again. It's coming up. Dick Knapinski is on the phone. Is he in Wisconsin?
Yes.
He's in Wisconsin.
Oshkosh.
Your home state.
Yep.
Oshkosh.
Go Packers.
Dick Knapinski is the director of communications at the Experimental Aircraft Association. And those are the folks who are bringing this air show to Ocala. The show is at the Ocala International Airport next Friday, a week from today.
Yep.
The 16th, and then the 17th and the 18th. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week. So let's find out what's going to be there. And I'm pretty sure there is a B-17 there, right?
Yes.
Good morning, Dick Knapinski. Good morning, Dick.
Good morning. How's it going today? And Robin, I've got to ask, where in Wisconsin are you from?
Milwaukee.
Oh, you're from Milwaukee. Okay.
Yep.
Great.
I like Oshkosh.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a little cold in Oshkosh today, where we may crawl above zero today. And, so we're in the middle of one of those January cold snaps you probably remember so fondly here in Wisconsin.
I do.
Yeah.
So how do you actually fly one of the old planes from there to here, or do you take Eastern? Well, there is no more Eastern. What is out there? I don't even know what's out there.
JetBlue.
JetBlue, yeah.
Got that. We've got, we used to have Midwest Express, and now we've got Southwest around here, and Frontier is up here, and some of those airlines as well. And, of course, the Delta United American that we're all familiar with throughout the country.
Wow. So, are you a pilot?
I am. I've been flying now for, close to 20 years, and it's a wonderful experience. The things you get to see and the places you get to go and the whole perspective you get from flying is really unlike anything else. It's probably one of the best things I ever did.
Oh, wow, that is cool. So do you fly for pleasure or for are you the pilot of an airline, or where does your pilot license take you?
My pilot license, I hold a private pilot certificate, so I can fly aircraft recreationally. And so most of my experience has been in a small Piper Cherokee 4-passenger and going around the Midwest and seeing things, flying to Chicago, for instance, when Meigs Field was still open, right along the lakefront, and seeing that all lit up at night. Yep, seeing that.
I think that's where the flight simulator takes you off from, isn't it? When you
it does.
That computer. So I've landed there too. I've crashed there, I should say. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, it's a lot more fun when you get to get out of the airplane and walk around in Chicago. It's great. And to your original question, we had the B-17 down for winter maintenance over in Alabama this year, and so we had the opportunity to start the tour up a little bit early in the South, and so we took advantage of it, and are making some stops starting in Jacksonville this week and heading down to Ocala next weekend.
Oh, excellent. How many B-17s are actually still left?
There are only about a dozen still flying any place in the world. They made 12,000 of them during the war, and we're down to about 12 or so that are left.
Wow.
So we're very happy to own one of them and be able to take it around the country and show people this part of flying history. And while we still have the veterans with us from that era, to honor them and welcome them and host them when they come to the aircraft.
That is true. That is one of the very outstanding things you do. And you can see it in their faces. When they see the B-17, whether they've flown in it or not, they know the airplane. They know that airplane. What have you been to Ocala before?
I have not. Well, the airplane, I believe, has been there once, but boy, we have not been there for quite some time. So we're looking forward to coming to Ocala and being a part of it and just, I guess showing off the airplanes.
Well, are you aware that John Travolta lives here?
I am, yep. And John has been up with us at the fly-in a couple of times. He brought his Qantas 707 here a few years back and landed it here at Oshkosh during our event, which brings in 500,000 people and 10,000 airplanes every year.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool. Yeah, when we flew in the B-17, we had no control about where the plane was going, but the pilot took us over Travolta's house.
Yeah.
So we I guess he probably appreciated it. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
Well, he's got one of those great benefits that he can live someplace right where he can have the airplanes in the garage next door and just take off right from the house. That's always a bonus.
One of the most wonderful things that you do with the EAA is you also appreciate all the different avenues that flight takes us. You're going to be honoring the Apollo 13 astronauts this spring.
We are. When we have our Air Venture fly-in, which takes place in July each year up here in Oshkosh, this year it's the 20th through the 26th, we're very honored to have Jim Lovell, the commander, joining us.
Oh, wow.
Who came up with the line, "Failure is not an option," and was played by Ed Harris in the movie Apollo 13, and they'll be with us. Jim Lovell is a Milwaukee native as well, Robin, so it's, he speaks very fondly of... Yeah, he speaks very fondly of meeting our founder, Paul Poberesny, back in the 1950s and 60s, and he's been up to Oshkosh a couple of times. But this being the 45th anniversary of the Apollo 13 mission, we're looking forward to that.
So he's a whole nother astronaut.
He is, yeah.
Let me explain my joke. Robin uses the expression "a whole nother," and I'm assuming this is a Wisconsin thing because she's actually taking a word. The word is another, and then she puts the word whole after the A, so it's a whole nother, and we think it's a Wisconsin thing.
Oh, we'll claim it, sure. What the heck? Robin's one of us.
Well, this is fun. You're a fun guest, actually. So we'll take a little break. We've got a weather report, etc., and somewhere around here, I have it here. There it is. And we'll be right back. And there is a wonderful air show, and we've gone to at least two of them here in Ocala, one of which we were able to fly in the plane. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, times of clouds and sun and breezy with a brief shower in spots. Highs will range from the low 50s in the northernmost part of the zone to the mid-60s in the south. And partly cloudy tonight with a low in the upper 30s across the northern interior part of the zone to the mid-50s along the south coast. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sun. There may be a shower in spots along the coast. Highs ranging from near 60 in the north to the low 70s in the south. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now. 352-369-9101.
The LPGA Tour will kick off the 2015 season right here in Central Florida at the inaugural Coates Golf Championship presented by R&L Carriers, January 26th to the 31st at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. Kids 12 and under get in free with a ticketed adult, so bring the entire family to see 120 of the world's best female golfers compete on a nationally televised stage. For information and tickets, visit CoatesGolfChampionship.com.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Experience the golden age of aviation with a ride on a fully restored 1929 airliner, EAA's immaculate Ford Tri-Motor, when it lands at Ocala International Airport Thursday, January 15th through Sunday, January 18th. You can also take a ride on EAA's World War II B-17 bomber aluminum overcast, one of the greatest military aircraft of all time. Book your flights today online at b17.org and flytheford.org or call 1-800-359-6217. Hosted by EAA Chapter 812.
Yeah, that is who is sponsoring the air show, is the Experimental Aircraft Association Chapter 812. And on the phone to talk about the show that's next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Dick Knapinski up in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And Dick is with the Experimental Aircraft Association of Oshkosh. Is that right, Robin? I think if I have that right. Oh, it's right there? Okay. Dick, tell me about what are the airplanes that will be here?
Well, the airplanes that will be joining you down in Ocala are two of them. First of all, we talked about the B-17 a little bit. It's the B-17. It's called Aluminum Overcast. And we have taken this airplane out on tour for about the last 20 years. It's 95% restored to what it looked like when it came off the line in World War II. We've made a few modifications. Better radios and better brakes are a couple of them. But it will be there. It'll be parked. People will be able to enjoy ground tours. And we also have flight opportunities as well for people while they're there. Now, these are a little bit pricey. I'll admit it right on the front end because, well, it takes a little bit of money to put that airplane in the air.
Yeah.
It takes about $4,000 an hour to fly that airplane.
Wow.
And so, when they built the airplane, gas was 19 cents a gallon. And so they didn't think about it.
Big difference, yeah. So how much is it to fly in the airplane now, next Saturday?
Now, you're right. If people can go to www.b17.org, that's b17.org, and if you do it in advance, it's $449 if you're not an EA member, $409 if you are an EAA member, and if you wait till the day of the show and the airplane's there, well, then it's $475 to fly in the airplane if you're not a member, $435 if you are an EA member. If that's a little bit out of your range, well, we have ground tours too. If you're an individual, $10, you can tour the airplane, look at all the different spots, the tail gunner, the bombardier station, the cockpit, and so forth. And the family rate, 2 adults, all the kids through age 17, $20. Bring them on out.
Wow.
And also, if you're an active military member or you're a veteran, well, we'd love you to come absolutely free as our guest to tour that airplane.
That's awesome. And have you ever had a vet who actually flew and served in one of the planes?
Oh, we have. Those are some of the most remarkable stories, Larry, because those guys come out, and sometimes they haven't even talked about this with their families, their war experience.
Really? I bet you're right, yeah.
Yeah, and they start talking about, wow, we were in this airplane. I have not been in one of these airplanes for 70 years. It's remarkable. We had one veteran who we said, we'd love to take you on a flight. And he said, no, I'm not going. When I got off the last time, I said I was never going to go in that airplane again and fly in it. I'll walk around inside of it, but I'm not going to fly in it again. So
when we did the flight, it was such a thrill for us, but it was hard to imagine the fear, the angst, whatever word would fit, that was actually being experienced, because obviously ours was very pleasurable, but it was small. It felt so small in there to me.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the interesting things. People who may have watched the movie Memphis Belle from a couple decades ago, or 12 O'Clock High or something like that had B-17s, thinking it's this big, wide-body, almost airliner-type facility. It's not. It's small. And you mentioned about the fear and the angst. You have to remember, if you were 25 years old at the time flying one of these, the rest of the crew called you Gramps because you were one of the old guys.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah, 18, 19, 20-year-old airmen up there in the Army Air Corps flying these airplanes, or being the bombardier or the navigator or the wing gunner, and so forth. So I look at my 22-year-old son and go, I can't imagine that right now.
By the way, I'm going to make a pitch right now. If we have somebody out there with a few dollars, maybe you've been very fortunate and you're blessed with a lot of money, and you want to pay for the tickets for some veterans to fly that might not be able to afford to fly, I would love for you to let us know about it. We don't want to have any part other than to just put the word out there.
Right.
But wouldn't that be awesome? Because I can imagine a lot of it. My dad, who's since passed away, I remember he went with us to see the B-17. Didn't fly in it with us, but he remembered it. He was in the Army, and he remembered it very clearly. So.
It is, and it's great to have the vets out there, especially those from the World War II era, or those who may have been children at the time, and boy, they know those airplanes right away. They say, that's a B-17, and we remember the original Memphis Belle during the war, and so on and so forth.
So can I ask you a question? Can you actually identify that plane from the sound?
You can. I think, I've been around it now here on the staff for 20-some-odd years, and you hear those big 4 radial engines fire up. It is a unique sound. You not only hear it, you almost feel it as it goes by.
Wow.
It's like a Harley.
It's like a Harley.
yeah,
Harley of airplanes.
About 12 Harleys going by at the same time. Yeah.
All right. We have a phone call, and let's take it. Good morning. Thank you for calling and for waiting, by the way. You're on the air now with Dick Knapinski.
Thank you very much. This is a Milwaukee born and raised guy talking to you, and I've been up to your air show several times, and it's one of the greatest things I think I've ever done in my life is gone to that air show.
Well, thank you.
A question about the B-17. Now, it's stored up in Oshkosh. When you fly it, like, let's say down here to Ocala, you're probably talking, I don't know how many air miles it is, but can that be made without refueling?
We do not. Usually we'll take that and make one fuel stop along the way. We were fortunate enough this year to winter the airplane over in Alabama and do the winter maintenance there, and so it was just a short hop. But typically we'll take the airplane and we'll make one stop, and oftentimes that's as much for the crew as it is for the airplane. Because, sometimes you tell pilots, well, the fuel tanks will last longer than your bladder will. And so at that point, you end up making one fuel stop, and I can tell you there's nothing quite like landing at some airport, let's say in Kentucky or Tennessee somewhere, and rolling up in a B-17. You want to get traffic and everybody to stop for a moment. This will do it. But we have taken it on.
Which light bomber was nicknamed after Billy Mitchell?
That was the B-25. It was called the Mitchell Bomber. That was a 2-engine bomber, probably best known by the Doolittle Raiders that did the bombing raid on Tokyo in early 1942. They flew B-25s at the time. Those were a little bit less range, but they're also very effective, flown very much, mostly in Europe at the time.
Wow.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to the air show in Ocala here. Thank you.
Thank you for the great calls.
As the Director of Communications there for the EAA, you are involved with a lot of different people, and it's wonderful to note that you instill the love of flying in in everyone from elementary students to college students with your volunteer program.
Well, thank you. Volunteers really are the heart and soul, including the folks right down there who are in Ocala, Chapter 812. They do a marvelous job down there. But we have one thing we do is called the Young Eagles Program. The folks at Chapter 812 and our chapters throughout the country fly kids for free, take them on demonstration flights. And since 1992, we have flown 1.9 million kids at no charge.
Wow.
And given them the opportunity to find out flying is not sitting in an airliner and waiting for the little bitty bag of pretzels. It's it's getting out there and seeing how this piece of machinery works, getting out, enjoying that whole new perspective, and maybe inspiring a few of them to pursue it on their own.
Yeah, in a way, the switch from walking on the tarmac up the stairs to this concealed plank that goes from the terminal, and you don't ever see the airplane. The kids get a really different perspective now.
Yeah, it really is different. It's much more sanitized experience. Standing in line with security and hoping your luggage arrives in the same place you do is something that to us that's not flying. And I think if you even talk to most airline pilots, they got into it for a passion for flying, and we try to instill that in young people and older people too. We also have a program called Eagle Flights, which if somebody's interested in aviation, and we always tell all our pilot members saying, get one friend interested in aviation and get them started, and they'll come back and thank you later.
I'm guessing that if airplanes had personalities, we would be making the other airplanes jealous because we've been focusing on the B-17. Well, I know there's at least one other notable airplane that will be at the show next week. What is that one?
That is a Ford Trimotor. It is the state-of-the-art from 1928. If you were going airline flying in 1928, this is what you would go on.
Oh, really?
It's a Ford Trimotor built by the Ford Motor Company. Now, if you want to fly in this one, it's less. It's just $70 to do that. If you walk up the day and get a flight, it's $75, so it's a lot less to do that. And Trimotor, you can see... It's 10 passengers. You can see right into the cockpit to see what the pilots are doing. And it's hard to imagine that people flew across the country in 2 or 3 days in a Ford Trimotor back just 80 years ago.
Oh, wow. Wow. That is amazing.
Wow.
It was that small. I didn't realize it was that small.
It is. It's almost like dinette chairs. It's very much. It looks very rustic and throwback, but at the time it was state of the art. It was everything you'd ever want, and something you'd never imagine that you would be doing as a human at that time in the late 1920s.
Well, if somebody contacts you, somebody who is rich, with deep pockets, whatever you want to say, and they offer to pay for the vets to fly, would you let us know? Because I would just love to report that. But for them to call you, do you want to give your number, or do you just want to invite them to the airport? What kind of ending information should we leave with?
Yeah, probably the best thing to do right now is to contact us through the websites, and I would recommend doing that. They can either go to www.b17.org. That's B17, no hyphen in that, b17.org, and you can book your flights right there. Or you can call the on-site crew when they're on Ocala next weekend at 920-371-2244. Again, 920-371-2244. If that's next weekend down in Ocala, they can take care of you right there.
Wow. Robin and I were a small part of a wonderful effort in our community to get the World War II vets up to the
honor flight.
The honor flight up to Washington, D.C. And this would be great if we could have a small part in connecting people who can help pay for the flights for some of our vets to take that flight in the B-17 right over Ocala. That would be awesome. Dick Knapinski, thank you for being on the air. Have a safe trip to Florida, and I hope when you get here, you stop in and say hi to us here at the station.
Well, I hope to see everybody in the Ocala area out at the airport. I tell you, aviation is a great thing to be a part of. Next
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we'll keep mentioning all the details about that. Call us if you need us to tell you on the phone. Dick, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
It was great.
Alert. I'm Joe Giro. France on edge. In a Paris market, 5 hostages are being held.
Police are heavily armed, and in large number don't have a lot to do right now. They're just waiting.